Welcome to 13 News at noon, everyone. I am Karen Campbell here with meteorologist Rob Ellis.
Yeah.
First time working together.
Yeah, it's exciting, right? We were talking before the show, and we were talking about the cold weather and if we enjoy it or don't enjoy it. I think we both are maybe warm weather fans.
I am definitely a warm weather fan.
You were trying to find the coat this morning.
Wasn't it chilly, guys?
Yeah, just a little too cool for this time of year. But look, get through another night, and then I think you're going to warm up as we get closer to the weekend. So it's good news for both of us. You like the warm weather, don't worry. There's a little bit more of that in the forecast. I started with those temperatures into the 30s. That's where we were this morning. Here's where we are now. We have warmed up. We're into the 50s. There's still a couple of strong holds of some 40s, but we'll slowly erode those as the day goes on. We do have some clouds in place. Now, we don't have as much on radar as we did yesterday at this time. But look, those clouds coming right off of Lake Michigan. Once we shut down this north or maybe a little bit of a northwest wind, those clouds will go away as well. And I do think that that'll happen by sometime this afternoon. Looking at the forecast for today, keeping the clouds in place. Notice the winds not quite as strong as where they have been. Earlier in the week, they were 15 to 20. Yesterday, they were 10 to 15. Today, they're 5 to 10. You get the picture here. Things are calming down a bit with that north wind. But look, more sunshine by the second half of the day. And then as we head into the evening, things clearing out. And that's going to have a forecast on our temperatures. So highs in the 50s, looking at lows a little bit colder than where they were today. We're talking close to freezing. More patchy frost is possible. But get through this, and each and every day gets a little bit warmer. I'll show you the weekend forecast, which looks really nice coming up.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Right now, we are just 19 days away from Election Day, and as it gets closer, we are taking your questions to the people running for office. In our 13 News election survey, hundreds of Hoosiers identified property taxes as the single most important issue. Our Dustin Grove talked to candidates for governor about how they plan to address this growing concern.
And you can see it's just regular homes, nothing fancy.
When Vicki Riddle opened her latest property tax bill and saw how much she owes,
first is panic because it's uncontrollable. And then I'm mad. I'm really mad.
In the 7 years she and her husband have owned their home near Bloomington, she says her bill has more than doubled.
And I'll tell you, Dustin, what bothers me the most about property taxes is that I'm going to pay this house off. This is my home, but it could be taken away from me if for some reason, when I'm not working anymore, I can't pay the taxes. That's terrible.
Her story isn't unique.
Property taxes has just continued to go up.
As home values soar, tax bills just last year shot up an average of 18% statewide.
Where would property tax reform be on your priority list?
We took the topic straight to the candidates running for governor.
It'd be one of the top 3.
Democrat Jennifer McCormick's plan would include capping increases at 10% and expanding deductions for seniors, disabled veterans, and renters. And it would more than double exemptions homeowners can claim on their income taxes.
You still have to have amazing quality services at that local level. So we didn't want to cripple our towns and our cities, but also we wanted to have relief for Hoosiers.
On the other side of the aisle,
I put that out there first because I'd say that's the #1 issue.
Republican Mike Braun says he would call for capping the increase in tax bills at 2% for seniors, low-income Hoosiers and families with children, and 3% for everyone else. He also wants to increase deductions to bring levels back to what they were in 2021.
Don't grow taxes at a rate faster than the robust growth of your economy.
And Libertarian Donald Rainwater says property taxes should essentially be a sales tax on the purchase of your home, 1% a year for 7 years.
1, your property taxes should never increase. And 2, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes for the rest of your life in order to make sure that the government doesn't take your property from you.
Vicki Riddle is just glad the issue is getting attention and says the solution, whatever it is, should come from the State House, not the local courthouse.
It needs to be across the board, a statewide thing.
The sticking point will be the impact these plans would have on public services. Property taxes pay for your police and fire departments, public schools, streets, and sidewalks. That's the balancing act facing the governor and ultimately the legislature as they navigate all of it next year. Dustin Grove, 13 News.
All right, thanks, Dustin. Well, these candidates had more to say, of course, and you can watch their extended interviews right now on WTHR+. You can download that free app on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, or even Roku. And it's been 1 week since the start of early voting here in Indiana, and we are getting our first round of voter turnout stats. So here in Marion County, more than 7,800 early in-person voters there were. Now in Hamilton County, we've seen about 11,000 people vote early in person. And Johnson County, that number about 3,700. And Hancock County, they had close to 3,000 early in-person ballots. Over in Hendricks County, just over 3,200 people. We've compiled a voter guide with everything you need to know to make your vote count this election, from polling places and times to who's on the ballot and what candidates have to say about the issues that matter most to you. Just head over to WTHR.com/decision. There are no court proceedings today in the Delphi murders trial. 12 jurors and 4 alternates have been chosen from Allen County. Now, the group will decide the fate of Richard Allen. He stands accused of killing teenagers Libby German and Abby Williams more than 7 years ago. Now that the jury is selected, they will move from Allen to Carroll County tomorrow, where they will be sworn in. So also happening tomorrow, Judge Francis Gall is expected to make rulings on a series of motions the court is considering. Judge Gall says the trial is expected to take about a month, and the jury will be sequestered that entire time, which means they will be isolated from the public. Now, there are some other big developments in this case. During questioning, one of Allen's defense attorneys mentioned a hair was found in one of the girls' hands. He said it was not Richard Allen's. And now there is also an effort to block the jurors from seeing the suspect's sketches released in this case. Now, the first sketch came out 5 months after the murders in 2017. The second sketch came out in 2019. The prosecutor says they could prejudice and mislead the jury. He also says they're no longer relevant because they weren't used to identify Allen. Well, businesses in southern Indiana are coming together to raise money for the family of a teen shot and killed. Corydon Central High School football player Bryce Gerlach was killed outside the Harvest Homecoming celebration last Saturday. Since then, people living in the area have rallied around Bryce's loved ones. At Board NU Bistro and Wine Bar in New Albany, people grabbed dinner and drinks with some of the proceeds going to Bryce's family.
You just feel a connection to this kid, even though you don't know the story, and I just feel for everyone involved.
We have a lot of employees here who are great friends of his, so we just wanted to support them and help support his family as well.
Board NU owner Zach Flanagan estimates they would raise $400 for the Gerlach family. Today, there's a fundraiser planned at Lazy Cow Creamery and Sweets right down the street from Bryce's school. A food trailer will also be set up outside, and police say Gerlach died when a shooting happened after a dispute between 2 groups of people. A 22-year-old man and a 41-year-old woman were both injured. Police say all 3 victims were innocent bystanders. This afternoon, Metro Police say they have interviewed a person of interest in a hit-and-run crash that killed a 14-year-old boy. The case was sent to the prosecutor's office, but no arrests have been made. The Marion County coroner confirming Wilberto Rivera III died Monday. The crash happened last Thursday night on North Cumberland Road, just north of 10th Street. Metro Police said the teen was riding his bike when a driver hit him and then left the scene. Rivera was hospitalized in critical condition for several days before his death. Investigators continue searching for that driver. So if you know anything that can help, you're encouraged to call IMPD. This afternoon, a second former IU basketball player is coming forward with allegations of sexual assault against longtime team physician Brad Bamba Sr. In a new lawsuit against the university, the former player, listed as John Doe, says he played for IU in the 90s under Coach Bobby Knight. He says he was sexually abused by Bamba Sr. under the guise of medical examinations. In the lawsuit, Doe also alleges that team personnel were aware of the abuse and would make derogatory and joking remarks to the student athletes about Bamba Senior's conduct. Last month, the university announced it was launching an investigation after the first player came forward with accusations. They are also asking any other student athletes who may have been abused to come forward. Now, we have the anonymous reporting hotline people can call posted for you right now on WTHR.com, along with an email address.